it has a reflection of you. Although it's not real, it's a mirage. You know what a mirage is? You are driving on the tar road and you see something like water in front there. You think there's water, but the closer you get there, it's like this water is being pushed away. Because it's something that appears real, though it's not real. So we are not saying when the results reflect you, it's a reality. But somehow it's a semblance that represents the performer. So if the performer does not do anything with that, it will end up becoming a reality of this performer. You will end up being defined as an underperformer. Imagine why would the negativity that comes with this utterance. Underperformer. You're depressed, you're demoralized. So imagine it's a title given to you because over time you have not done anything to change performance. Because the first question that I will ask as a coach, if you underperformed 2 years ago, I'm going to ask you, what did you do in the space of 2 years to change performance? If there's nothing that you have done, it means you are happy with the results. If you are not happy with the results, you are going to make an effort to change the landscape and the fabric of the results that you have produced in the space of 2 years. Am I making sense? Are we ready to change the landscape and the fabric of our performance? Because we are not underperformers. That's not our titles. Again, so underperformance should stay away from us because it does not represent our makeup. And Didi spoke about blaming one another. You can't even say, nah, I know I'm not an underperformer. It can't be like that. We cannot blame anybody. We look at ourselves in the mirror, reflect on ourselves, and release and unleash the capacity and the potential that we have as individuals to influence the capacity and the potential of others. This is what I said last week when I was speaking to others. And I said, if you know who you are phenomenal in performance, because phenomenality cannot be measured in numbers and in percentage. It's who you are. It's a makeup that you have embraced. It's a makeup of doing above average and above mediocrity and excel to the apex. That's phenomenality. If you leave a township and go to a village, if you are phenomenal, you will change a village into a city. Like what class? In a sense. Yes. But if you're not phenomenal, you'll find a village and you'll make it worse. It will be a village times 2 in your presence because you don't have the phenomenality. And that's why there are people who look smart, but they are not smart, I'm sorry to say. And they are not here in this room. They are packing hotel. There are people who look smart, but they are not smart. Because smart people will always transform the results in the space. Smart people will always effect a change. Because mediocrity irritates them. Mediocrity peeves them. Mediocrity frustrates them. So they will always do something to change the nature of performance in the space where they are. Ask the person next to you, do you look smart or you are smart? I'm protecting you, don't worry. Just ask them. I'm your protector today. Nobody's going to beat you up because you're asking them questions. Ask them again. Are you smart or you just look smart?
Are you smart or you just look smart?
Brothers and sisters, it is a disgrace to teach a subject which you cannot pass if you are assessed individually for the subject. Imagine you take the question paper, which is set for the children you are teaching, on the very subject. But never pass. What does that say about your relationship and the learners? It means your input to these learners is minimal. You are actually making an input on the capacity that's already there. So Banaba never pass not because of your input, But pass because of the capacity they have. So your input does not take them from scratch and transform them to be high performers. You are actually making an input over capacity. That's why Harifa were not the same question paper. When now I fail because you are making inputs but you lack capacity. Yeah, only you heard me, my brother. Input does not mean capacity. Anyone can lead, but not everyone can manage. Anyone can lead. Anyone can be given a position where you are a leader. And what is a leader? I just stand here and say, follow me, and everybody is following. You are leading. And sometimes you're leading people to a ditch. All of you are going to fall into a ditch. But management is an art. Management requires smartness of mind. Because you are dealing with types and types of personalities who must forget about their influence levels and follow your influence. But if you don't know management, people are going to question your influence, judging it against their quality of influence. And then they're going to measure and say, no, but I'm the one who's supposed to lead this one. I'm in good class. They are going to judge your influence against their quality of influence. Because leadership is about what? Influence. So they're going to judge and say, no, but this one, they have the title. But otherwise, I can influence them better than they are influencing me. And this is the reality of human nature. Human nature always makes assessment, hello class, of influence. I'm speaking here. There may be somebody who says, but I can speak better. It's human nature. You are not wrong to do that. You are actually acknowledging the quality of your influence. And you are confident in the quality of your influence. And that's why you judge it against the influence of the next person. We cannot raise sheep. We want to raise shepherds. We cannot raise what? Sheep. We want to raise shepherds. Because a sheep is always going to the direction they are told to go to. And they don't ask questions. They don't ask questions about the quality of the food that they are led to go and eat. Because they are mere what? Sheep. But a shepherd is the one who knows that my responsibility is not only to follow, but my responsibility is to lead. So I'm going to influence others. You must transform them to be like yourself. But you can't make anybody a shepherd if you are still a sheep yourself. Let me dwell a little bit in the Bible. Jesu Are, my sheep know my voice. It doesn't say my lambs. Because at lamb stage, you are still junior, you are still immature. His voice is not clear to you. So you must develop into becoming a sheep that is a matured lamb that understands the voice of the shepherd. And when you know the voice of the shepherd, you can transform and translate yourself into a shepherd, even though your stature is that of a sheep. Hello, class. Don't smell like where you come from. Make every place you occupy to smell like you. And that's why you encourage her, unless you've got a condition, you encourage her to buy cologne. So that you start smelling different, and that cologne will give you confidence. Hello, class. So your smell in terms of productivity and performance must give you confidence. So that when you walk proud, knowing how you smell. So you are not afraid to gain close proximity with people of influence because you know how you smell. If you are smelling of armpits, whatever you go closer to people of influence, because you know that the smell that's coming from your armpit will repel you from those people. But if you smell good, hello, you want everybody to smell your cologne. You want to go close, madam, you want to go closer. Just smell. They come to Tamaya, over the corridors. You just go close, even if you have a mask, just smell. Because you know you are not afraid of your scent. You are not afraid. You are not ashamed of your scent. Which is someone telling people, are you afraid of your scent? Or not? Ask them, why are you sitting far from me? So in terms of the context of performance, hello? The people who come closer to you, they come closer to you because of a scent. Because of an aura that they are smelling from you. So if you smell poor performance, who wants to associate with you? But if you have improved performance, everyone will want to come closer to you. Even those who are undermining you, they now want to start asking you questions. Pertaining this, how do we do it? Because now you are attracting the right people. Be careful, brothers and sisters, of attracting gossipers, critics, jealous people. You won't improve in performance. The spirit they carry will not propel you to a better place of performance. It will just keep you mediocre. It will just stagnate you. Because such people, remember our life, I said it's not a joke again. A human being is made of 3 domains. Physicality, the mind, which is the soul, and the spirit. So when I right, and when you bring them to a close proximity of your personal space, and you start wondering why you are no longer doing in the way that you were doing previously. You are just deteriorating. It's because of the people you brought into your space. Oscar talked about to the favor at the expense of your future. It's not everyone that deserves your personal space. Hello, class. Be friendly with everyone, like we are friendly with everyone. But don't be friends with everyone. They can be at the same level as you. Maybe they want to get the principal. You don't have to bring them to your personal space. You've got to assess, make a proper assessment. Is this person's spirit matching my spirit? Is this person's spirit matching my spirit? Is this person's thinking patterns matching my thinking patterns? Is this person's level of confidence matching my level of confidence? Or when I walk confidently, they will start saying I'm arrogant because they don't know what confidence is all about. No man, I'm not confident. Now I understand. I'm not arrogant. Tell them, I'm not arrogant. Now I understand. I'm just confident. So these are integrities that I am mentioning because they contribute to your final and ultimate outcomes that you produce as a person. You know that our province has been undermined for a long time. You know that. When you go to Gauteng and say Limpopo, they look down on you. Those years. Again, when you are compared as a province with your provincial peers in terms of performance, even the utterances that they make, don't worry about Limpopo. I said compare another Limpopo but the tables have turned around. A generation of educators that we have today is a generation of educators whose mindsets have been positively and academically influenced. We are no longer just followers, we are leaders. We are taking the lead. Wherever I go, I mention, if I'm in another province, I tell them I'm from Limpopo, the province you used to undermine. But listen to the things I say, and you'll stop undermining the province because it produces greatness. It doesn't produce mediocrity, it produces greatness. Do you know Limpopo is the only province where we have more doctors than any other province? Dr. Motona, Dr. Maponya, Dr. Mtema, Dr. Wena. Finally confident, who behave like the doctors. Because you research like that. You understand concepts like that. Hello class. I'm here to motivate you. Don't treat yourself cheap. You are not cheap. You are great. And after these 3 days, please guys, don't walk like you are cheap. Don't talk like you are cheap. Don't behave like you are cheap. Don't think like you are cheap. Those results that you have produced don't represent you. And that's why the real you that is unleashed in these 3 days is going to change those results because they don't represent you. Hello class. Leave tell coach Matsoho. Leave Matsoho like you know yourself. You are confident. We are changing mindsets. We are changing thinking patterns. We are changing behaviors. We are changing language. We are changing everything about ourselves. Yeah, tabeli ya re tla tsamaya nkare re belong to Satan rona. Are bana ba modimo tsamaya nkare you apologize nkare you are sorry to everyone, even the people who did not wrong you. Must start working like one modimo. Who understands that I'm in this space of education. And again, I purpose which I must fulfill. In purpose, I'm not just here. Born. How many people did you go to school with and they are not where you are today? A lot of them. But God chose you out of that conglomerate. So that you are the one in the teaching space that you are in. You cannot treat this ordinarily. You must take it serious and give God the glory through your performance. Then you share your performance. I take pride in what He has done in your life. Chelete, guys, I'm a businessman. We don't have them today. Chelete comes and goes. So our mandate and assignment is beyond the money that we get. It's a purpose thing. Hello, class. That child that you are teaching, that seems like they are hard-headed. That's your project for the future. That's where you will take your glory. Or transform and look at where they are today.
Yes.
And those children will come back and glory in the seed that you have planted in them. I went to the high school. I think I'm speaking these things because I have enough time. I went to the high school where I passed my matric with 3 distinctions in maths, accounting, and economics. That's why I was happy when they said you're an economics teacher. But guess what? I passed the economics with a distinction without a teacher. Wow. Yeah, we didn't have a teacher, the audience. But I passed it with a distinction. Why? The inputs of educators on me, they come on top of the capacity that I already host. Now you understand the context of what I said before. Your inputs must come on top of the capacity that the children have. If Mwana has a capacity, you develop the capacity so that your inputs match the capacity that is existent in that child's life. So I go back to the combo Dr. Maponya, the corn, the winglets and stuff. Then I call all the teachers who are still there, who taught me in those years. And I say, let's have lunch. Listen to me, this one thing. Of all the learners that you taught, I know some of them are in jail, some of them died in crime, some of them are in social clubs, some of them are prostituting, some of them are doing despicable things. But look at me, I'm your example. If you want something you can take pride on, look at me. Tell people you taught somewhere below. Wherever I'm going, I indirectly represent the inputs that you have made in me. So don't give up on the mandate because of the learners that discourage you. There is that one learner that will come back and say, "Ma'am, sir, look at me. I'm the example of the greatness that you host as a teacher. You have made me to be what I am today." Those learners will come back, trust me. We go back to our teachers. We go back to the grandmothers and fathers that have raised us before we knew ourselves, before we were self-aware. Those people were not educated, but they had the wisdom from God to mentor us and to guide us in life. Today we take them, we fly them to whatever. I think it's cheap to fly, but in their lives they've never flown. So we come back and say, as an expression of gratitude, we fly them in the planes. Hotel. They go into the sea and enjoy the creation of God because they have made an input in us. Hello, class. I'm not saying do it because you want somebody to come back and say thank you. They may not come back, but their lifestyles will be an expression of gratitude towards what you have done to them. Are you motivated? Can I drop the mic? The work that you are doing, forget about the slides. The work that you are doing, it's a work that, in my view, surpasses all careers that are in this world. In my view, the work that you are doing, you are actually molding medical doctors, you are molding preachers, you are molding business people. The lessons that we apply even in business, the creativity that we have, who's the foundation of it? It's a teacher. So please, brothers and sisters, don't take light the mandate. This is not from the devil, and this is not from the district director. This is from God. God has given you this assignment and mandate. He trusted you that you will perform in this mandate. So let us go and not disappoint God. We did intervention workshops for Fort Letaba Second in the Mobani East District. The second manager tells me, and we did those interventions last year. He says to me, they had never surpassed the 40% since 2008. Since when? 2008. Which means now this second, they were now complacent. Mr. and Mrs. 40. We are not going to surpass 40 since 2008. We have never done that. Then we intervened because Ronara Rapela for this assignment. Hello, class. The words we speak are not academic, they are revelatory. And revelation, it's a precursor to elevation. If you want people to be uplifted, give them revelation. Academic knowledge does not solve some problems. We can come with statistics telling academic, they will never solve the problems until in revelation, because revelation, it's a relationship, it's not with the mind, it's with the heart. The group A is not a revelation, it's connection, it's with the heart, not with the mind. Academic knowledge, it's connection, it's with the mind. But revelation, it's with the heart. And that's why if you want to transform people, reach them in the heart, not just in the mind. Because if you want motivation, you can even download on Google. You'll get thousands and thousands of motivational quotes. But that's not what you need. You need revelation. Understand beyond what is written. Get a personal inspiration and instruction of what is written and what is being said. Beyond what you are hearing and what you are reading, you must get your personal inspiration and instruction. Because what is written for all. But not all will understand beyond what is written. What is being said, it's said to all. But not all will understand beyond what is being said. So it's individuals that draw inspiration and instruction from what is being said. And that inspiration and instruction will be a directive that those individuals are supposed to take towards their destination. Everyone has got a destination. We are all headed somewhere. Some of us will not reach our destinations on time because we don't have inspiration and instruction and the directive from what we are hearing and what we are reading. Inspiration and instruction are key components to the propulsion to our destination. Nobody reaches a place that is not communicated to them. Did he? Nobody reaches a place that is not communicated to them. How do you know you have arrived if it was not communicated? You will have arrived when you see 1, 2, 3. So you will still travel even beyond your place of destination because you don't have inspiration and instruction that propels you to your destination. When you have arrived, you know how to behave because arrival means the beginning of a new phase.
Yes.
Arrival means what? The beginning of a new phase. So some of us used to perform. You know why? We had reached our arrival and we neglected the beginning of a new phase. We camped where we had arrived in the past instead of starting a new phase in a new slate and become the better performers for the new season that we are headed to. How many who are only holding on to the season of the past performance? And that's why even today you are telling us how many distinctions you produced in college, and we were not there. We are not even interested in college distinctions. We are interested in your current performance. So there are people who are holding on to past performance. Why? Because they've not started a new journey after arriving in the past season.
Yes.
Yeah, only you are hearing me. Please give me that energy that I'm releasing. Audience yaka haimpi energy ekiba fani yona. Bantima energy yaka. So if you are a person holding on to past performance, these are the two things that will happen. You will start developing a language of longevity and a language of entitlement. Instead of you proving performance, you will tell us how long you are in the space. Again, you don't have current results. So the only thing you hold on to is longevity. Nkabe second manager or she or he is younger than me. I've been in education for the past 30 years. I'm sorry to say, it doesn't matter how long you are here if you are not giving us performance. What proves longevity should be better performance than those who have just come into the space of education. Yes. You must actually do better than them because you've been here long enough. Yes. So number 2, it's entitlement. If you are holding on to past performances and not metamorphosing yourself into a new type of performance required for the season that you are operating in. Imagine a person who's from winter and enters a new season of summer, but you are still in the jacket you were wearing in winter. You are going to sweat profusely because the garment you are putting on, it's no longer needed for the season you are operating in.
Yes.
So when I to wearing the jacket, it's a winter because they are holding on to past performance. Their language is from the past. Their language is not progressive. Their language is regressive. And that's why team building. It's because you are seated in the past experiences. It's not the team buildings we did 3 years ago, this one. This one is a new season. This one is a team building for people with transformed mindsets, with spirits that are ready to perform at peak. Language class. Yes. So it doesn't matter what you have experienced in the past because the past is a trap. The past is a trap. You will be enmeshed in the trap of the past if you don't want to transform for the efficiency and the effectiveness of the current season that you are operating in. Because operation is directly linked to the season. In summer, people are mostly lazy because the sun is hot. So your operation is directly linked to the season you are operating from. Ask the person next to you, Uri, What season are you operating under?
Season are you operating under?
Every way I change that jacket, it's no longer windy. We are in summer now. So flexibility will be required because that jacket is going to be heavy on you and it will make you to be ponderous. You know, a pregnant woman, when they walk, it's a ponderous person walking because what they are carrying is heavy on them. Yes. But a person who's not pregnant, because it's only a pregnant woman 9 months and a bumper, they become ponderous. They walk slow because of what they are carrying. If you are not carrying the right items that are going to propel you into good performance, you'll be ponderous. You'll be the kind of person who always speaks the right things but do the opposite. Speaking the right thing, it comes as a human nature. All of us will be saying, I can work under pressure. I'm a hard worker. You'll be saying all the right things, but doing the wrong things. Because words are not a reflection of capacity. Words are a language. Hello? Capacity is a propeller of language. Capacity is a propeller of what? Of language. So if you don't have capacity but you are only speaking, your words are empty. If your words must have substance, they must be backed up by capacity. That was good even for myself. Your words will be empty and naked if they are not backed up by capacity. And that's why people with capacity, let's face it, they don't talk too much. They work too much. But people who talk too much and not give us the work are people who are trying to cover the nakedness of incapacitation through what they are saying. And that's why when you're meeting every time, even if they have nothing to say, they just want to say something. It's a cover-up of nakedness, of incapacitation in terms of capacity. People with capacity, they may not comment, but they'll give you the results. Everybody meeting in. If you take 1 minute, this is a chance. Because they just wanted to speak. All right, let me go to the presentation now. I think I've set the right foundation. And with what I've said so far, we are ready to go and change the fabric of the results of our institutions. It's so possible. It's so possible. Nothing is impossible. Because we are the right candidates for the mandates. And I'm good. We are the right what?
Candidate for the mandate.
That's the reason we are not in sports, arts and culture. We belong to education, not sports, arts and culture. So we are the right candidate for education. So let us go and bring that cream, Della cream. Cream on top of this cake that we are giving. So the title of my presentation, after speaking for the whole 45 minutes or so, the title of my presentation is the paraphernalia for pinnacle performance. What are the tools that we need? What are the equipment, the resources, the paraphernalia that we need for peak performance? Peak performance is pinnacle performance, is the apex performance, is the top of the mountain. Beyond that, there is no up. And that should be our aim, that should be our objective, that should be our goal, to reach the apex of the mountain. But remember, before you get to the apex of the mountain, there is a steep that you must travel. And that steep requires you to be fit. Class. If you are not fit in terms of capacity, you are going to go back to where you come from even before you reach the apex. So we have schools that used to perform at 80, 90. Right now, they've gone back. They're performing at 60. Because before they reached the apex, They gave up on the way. They became complacent on the way. They had no invigoration for them to keep pushing themselves into the apex. This is what you must understand. All of us that work, we do get tired. All of us. But there are people who make tiredness as if it's an excuse for not performing. Because they are used to speaking the language of fatigue. In the morning, you are supposed to be fresh, you are supposed to be energetic, you are supposed to be ready to perform. But in the morning, that person tired already. And they cannot reach what? The apex of the day. Because they are already operating in fatigue. Stretch a little bit. I can't like say, well, you don't touch each other. It's called sexual harassment. We may be seated. It was necessary for you to stretch. So ask the person next to you, Ori, what kind of paraphernalia is in your hands? Ask them. Did you say paraphernalia or is it para? Number one, guys, this is a presentation prepared for you. And it doesn't have many words, just pictures there. The words will come from me, and the notes will be written by your hand. Number one, you need a what? Shovel is a paraphernalia that you need to reach what? Pinnacle performance. And these resources I'm talking about, I'm going to talk in the context of the workforce. In the context of what? Workforce. So you are a principal, you are a DH, you are a co-opted SMT member. I guarantee these are the people that are here today. Amongst the team or the members of the team, you're gonna need shovels. What are shovels used for? For digging and for excavation. If you let deep people amongst your team, hello class, the steep will not be endurable. I'm going to be slow so that you can understand, because I'm going to say words that must reach your heart. If amongst your team you let deep people, the steep will be not endurable. Remember, the steep is towards pinnacle performance. You need to climb the steep to get there. If you don't have deep people, who are deep people amongst our team members? These are people who are open-minded. These are people who research content. These are the people who research concepts. These are the people who are not ordinary thinkers. These are the people who will take a subject matter and break it down and apply eisegesis. Eisegesis is when you apply your mind over a philosophical concept to break it down, to bring about lessons out of one subject matter. If you don't have such people, you have an ordinary team. And an ordinary team will never achieve extraordinary results. Ask the person next to you, are you a shovel? Are you a shovel or a woman? Now, a shovel, my goodness, a shovel is strong enough to do the digging. It's not every paraphernalia that does the digging. If you are a soft person amongst the team who gets influenced negatively, who does not have a backbone, you are not a shovel because you are not a strong tool we need for the team to have depth. The team must have depth. That's why you will use abbreviations of the Department of Education when you don't even understand their meaning. Every time IQMS, when you are asked what is IQMS, you start scratching your head because you are not deep. You don't question concepts. You don't question subject matters. You don't question the nature of the processes that are imposed on you from the district office. Alam Buddha class. If DD says to us, this is the direction we are taking, alone on your own, question it. Because it is in questioning that you get the proper answers. If you don't question, you have no answer. You are operating in the dimension of question mark. There's no full stop. Eh? That's why we have so many people that are deceived, even religiously. Because you are just consuming, you don't question. When somebody comes and says, I see your fridge has got an onion. Yeah! You don't question by which spirit are you speaking this. Where do you get such a revelation? I know I'm offending others and I'm intentional, but I'm still your friend. So if you don't question, you become a victim of deception. You become a victim of the ordinary. Adam Kutra class. Amongst the team members, we must have people with depth. People whom we can always approach for research purposes. People we can go to really. We want to develop a strategy for our school. Can you help us? What is a strategy? How can we approach a strategy? We must have them amongst our team. Otherwise, we will go to the district office to seek for depth because amongst our team, we don't have shovels. Get a sense, class? Yes. Shovel is strong. Let me talk to women a little bit outside of academia. If you are a woman who's married and you pack your bags over ordinary conflicts that are faced by every couple that is married, and you want to go back home and inconvenience your siblings, someone must move out of a room for you to sleep because you left your house. You are not a shovel. The material that has made you is a weak material. Bible, a wise woman builds her own home with her own hands. Who starts building a house and then gives up and looks the other direction? You are the one who started the foundation. You are the one who put the first brick. You are the one who put the first window. Why do you give up on what you are building? Because of common conflicts. Hello, class. Marriage is a ground for character development. If you are not ready for your character to be developed, don't get married. Because in marriage, there will be friction for fruition. In marriage, there will be disagreements. In marriage, the words he used to say to you before you had a child may change after 5 years and 10 years. The flowers he used to give you, he may not give you today. And when you will pack your bags, you no longer give me flowers. I'm going back to my mother's house. Because of flowers, you are not a shoulder. The material that has made you is not a strong material. Hello, class. You want to quit your assignment and your job because somebody gossiped about you. And you are saying, I'm not welcomed in this school because nobody says good things about me. Why does it matter so much what people say about you? Aren't you saying anything about yourself? Because what you say about yourself should carry more weight and more power and more value than what other people are saying about you. Why should I give myself a project? Yauri, people are saying my gap is too big. People be saying, hey, your gap is too big, it's like a bridge here we are go Zimbabwe, and saying all these things. Then I worry myself that I'm not welcome in this institution. Don't I have a gap? Are they not right where my gap is big? So what's the problem? So people who are not made out of strong material, people who don't have depth, they major on petty issues. You stop performing just because the principal did not greet you the other day. How does performance link to greeting? I get a monster. I'll never do submissions, I'll never go accountability. I can't see totally performance here because I don't do this. You are not the shovel, you are not made out of a strong material. You don't have depth. Hello class. You can't be having a line adula on your in this thing, on your lap. You are having a line about selfie, but on your lap. You don't have depth, you don't understand human relations, you don't understand alchemy that must exist between yourself and the learners. You can't feel the buttocks someone on your lap as a teacher, and you expect that learner to respect you. And you are saying, selfie on the lap. You don't do such things. You must be a shovel, made of strong material, and possess depth. Depth is understanding. Hello, class. The reason why we've got people who are not consistent in performance, they pass the subjects they don't understand. Passing a subject is when you have the ability to take instruction from the teacher. A teacher tells you this is what you do, and you do what the teacher says. You pass the subject. But that does not mean you understood the subject, because the longevity of the understanding is in the understanding. It's not in the passing. Huh? Everybody who follows instruction well can pass a subject. But passing a subject does not mean you understood the subject. Consistency, longevity are byproducts of understanding a subject. If you don't have depth, don't come into my personal space. You will contaminate it. I want people with depth. So you need people who are shovels in your team that are going to excavate ignorance. Hello class. And start to till knowledge and information. Tilling the ground, you don't need a shovel. A shovel goes deeper. A shovel digs up a hole. But a fork spade cannot dig up a hole. What does it do? It tills the ground. It prepares the ground for the planting of the seed. So if you don't have people, Didi spoke about it, if you don't have people who don't master preparation, you have people who will give you old wine to be poured on new wineskin. It is in preparation, in the pavilion of preparation, where you receive revelation for productivity. If you don't prepare, you are not inspired. You're coming with old meat and old pap to feed the people who need new diet. Huh? These learners are more exposed. They are not the learners of 1970. These ones are of the AI. These ones are of the internet. New wine is needed to be poured onto new wineskins. The power is not in the content of the subject. The power is in the context and the relevance of the subject. If you don't give a content context, it ceases to be powerful. Give me call, give it dialect class. If you don't give context and relevance to content, content ceases to be powerful. If you are pregnant and you don't know the gender of what you are carrying, your behavior will be of paradox nature. You are not sure of whether to go left or right because you don't know the gender of what you're carrying. So context is the gender of the content. When you know I'm carrying a boy, you know what kind of food you need to be eating. When you know I'm carrying a girl, you know what kind of clothes to buy after the girl is born. But you cannot buy clothes if you don't know the gender of what you're carrying. Do you know the gender of what you're carrying? Is it male or female? Is it boy or girl? Or it's in between? So these are the people who prepare the ground. When you leave here after 3 days, ask yourself, in the members that came and attended this strategic planning session, who is the chauffeur and who is the fox spade? So that you appropriate each other appropriately. Because a team does not mean you are one unit. When you are one unit, nobody is taking their position. A team has got to be separated in taking our positions. We need to know if you are a striker, go and strike. Keep. If you are a midfielder, go and create opportunities for the strikers to score the goals. And you should be okay if you are not the one who scored the goal. Because you are a team member. When the team wins, all of us have won. If you don't prepare, say this after me, if you don't prepare, we are going for lunch. You won't eat. Say it with energy. If you don't prepare, you will repair.
You will repair.
Repairing is costlier than preparing. The reason why some of you are here today, I call this a session of accountability as well. It's not just strategic planning. You are being held accountable. The reason why some of you are here is because you did not prepare. You performed without preparation. Imagine a soccer star who has the talent, the knack, the adept, the ability, and the ardent. Una liona passion, una liona invigoration, una liona energy, una li skills how to bolo adale kayon. Imagine if this person does not go to training. Even if the skill is there, performance will be limited to what you knew yesterday. There is no addition to what you knew yesterday. So preparation, say this after me, preparation. It's addition to capacity. So if you don't consistently have addition to capacity, your results will be like the results of yesterday. There won't be improvement. What brings improvement? It's when you become a fox spade. Till the ground. Prioritize preparation. Hello class. Don't go to class and do what you used to do last year. Just because you know the subject matter and it's the same subject you are teaching this year, you no longer prepare. You watch Movango, you watch Generations the whole night. You are not prepared. You come to class and you give out stuff last year. Presentation skills last year. There is no newness because there is no preparation. It is in the place of preparation where there is going to be what? Newness. When there is newness, you enter the class with a new approach. I mean, last year you used to walk like this to the classroom. Even this year, and you are not disabled. Even this year you walk in the same way. This year let there be change because now you are more prepared than you were last year. You have gotten new knowledge. You have gotten a new meat that you can attach to what you already know about the subject. Later in class. Yes. The last one. I'm looking at my time. What is the last one? The first time. It's a paraphernalia for pinnacle performance. What does the hosepipe do? I get the fox spade that tilled the ground, prepared the ground. Now we plant the seeds. Hello class. After planting the seeds, we don't stop there. What must happen? There must be watering because the germination of the seeds is dependent on the water received. The germination of the seeds is dependent on the water received. So there are people who don't talk too much, but they are the ones watering the seeds that are planted on the ground. You must understand the types of people and the members you have in your team, so that you don't label others with labelings that they don't deserve. Check what is their role. When anybody about they don't know how to dig. Hello class. They don't know how to till the ground, but they know how to water the seed that is planted. So everyone has a role to play, but we must understand as paraphernalia, what is our role in our team. When the seed is watered, I remember a story about Bushmen digging. They say the Bushmen came and planted a seed of maize and covered the ground. And he stood there waiting for maize to appear. So we must understand that after the seed is planted, we must be patient with the process. We don't expect immediate products, because process must take place. When process has taken place, then we can be in anticipation of a tree after the kind of the seed we have planted. So here's the big question. What kind of fruit do we want to enjoy in our institutions? That will be dependent on the seed that we have planted in our institution. If you plant bitterness, you will enjoy the fruit of bitterness. If you plant division, you're going to enjoy the fruit of what? So just plant the right seeds, so we can eat the right fruits. Some jolo and all of those things. I need to see because we said yele. But you busy with jolo. You married 30 years, you busy. You are confused. You need help. How do you expect to mentor young men when young men are seeing you living a life of directionless? When a new girl comes into the school from program A or Ramaphosa, where you are the first one, the timer. You are the first one in Wow Shelamwana. What about mentor John? I'm not expecting any halala, because this one calls for introspection. Don't waste time on non-entities. But what are you doing outside of the house? Go fix the house or close the door, then go and enter a new relationship. Jotam is talking about you. Now, we are talking of strategy. Strategy is the art of planning. Strategy is what? The art of planning. So strategy is the vehicle. From the beginning of the financial year or beginning of the year, we buy this vehicle. And we say, throughout the year, we're gonna drive this vehicle to our destination. But here's the catch. How many of us know when the tires will get worn out? How many of us know what will break on the suspension? We don't know. All we know is that we are driving this vehicle we bought at the beginning of the year to drive it to the destination of the end of the year. But because there are challenges that emerge, there are advents that happen during the year, which we did not know about. How are we going to solve those? We need interventions. So strategies is interventions. You can't just operate on strategy alone, because there are challenges that will emerge you did not think about when you were strategizing. So you must be flexible to have what? Interventions. Workshops. Guys, you can't have a school that has no workshops. Throughout the year, you just come to school, go back, come to school, go back, until December. No workshop, no oiling of the machinery. This machinery will turn dry, and when it's dry, it breaks. And broken people always want to break others. So some of the behaviors in the school is because the machine has gone dry and we did not realize or it's now becoming dry. It's losing the oil. After it's dry, it breaks. When it breaks, it wants to break others so that it feels relevant. So the workshops that we must have, and I will come and do them if you invite me and charge you. School management teams, the topics we cover when we are talking with managers, it's not the same as the topics we cover when we are talking with ordinary performers in the institution. That's why you need separation. You need to be separated with your SMT. And we prune that branch of SMT so that it can produce new fruits. You can't be a manager, guys, and you're not thinking around these interventions. Hello, class. I mean, there's a school in Joburg, DD, that used to take budget staff development back every year. The budget goes back. There's no intervention, there are no workshops for staff development. How do you expect these people to perform and be productive forever if they are not equipped? So this machinery, we must go and buy oil, hello class, and oil it again. Whenever it gets dry, we oil it so that it can keep on being productive, like a conveyor belt. Educator performance workshops. Your educators, can I see the hands of principals here? Those who are short. Your educators are going through a lot, not only from your school, but also from their personal spaces. And if you are not cognizant of that fact, you will neglect their emotional wellness. And when you neglect their emotional wellness, they are going to be bitter towards your instructions. Because these people are not well from the inside. It's not what you do to them in the school. It's coming from their personal space. And that's why your educators need to be sharpened from time to time. It's not that you as the manager don't know what to say to your teachers. You are saying the right things, but you are a familiar part of the picture. You are familiar, so whatever you say, they link it to what you know about them. Class. You need somebody neutral who can even say the same things you have been saying. Look at how they will receive them, because the person does not know them. The person is neutral. Then you're going to change your institution, and your institution can be a model C in a village. Because model C is not infrastructure, it's mindset. Learner performance. These learners, you must bring somebody. Please give me some time, Mr. Seruma. Where are you? Okay. I'm finishing, right? Yeah. These learners need to be motivated by somebody who can relate to their current conditions of where they come from. Some of them are from dysfunctional families, and that affects how they perform. So somebody must come and say, I'm also from a dysfunctional family, but I have performed. So you and I are not different. The only thing is your attitude towards the subject matter. Failure mathematics, I'm sure Mr. Mutona, you know this. I always talk about it. Failure mathematics in other grades, not because I'm stupid. You can tell I'm not stupid, madam. I'm not. But failure because of my attitude towards mathematics. Everyone from the township I'm coming from hates maths. Everybody hates Chris. Everybody how to work mathematics, but our subject was changing. And I mean, in the group that I went with to school, they were not even attending class year maths. Higher maths, they will linger around outside. I know those who got 0 in their statements of results at the end of the year. 0 mathematics. Because they did not even attempt to write. That's how much they hated the subject. But it was in grade 8, in grade 10, which was standard 8, where I joined 3 guys who were positive about the subject. And my association with them unlocked my capacity, unleashed my potential. In grade 12, to cut the long story short, I got a distinction in mathematics. 1 year of change of attitude saw me becoming one of the best performers in the whole school. So these learners, they just need somebody to kick them in the butt and say, be propelled forward, move forward. Don't be stuck where you are. Class. And a seed planted is a seed. A seed does not produce today. It will take time, but it will produce fruit. And when the results come out, you will look and say, the seed that I've planted, what has it produced? Then you'll be shocked to see Hurumana only you had given up on them have now transformed themselves and they have become better performers. Read this with me. Let's read it together. Who came with this quote? Whatever you leave to chance will not happen. Which means we must be intentional. Intention met by action will give us the results. So here's the call to action. Where do you need intervention? Again, we're talking to managers of institutions. Where do you need intervention? SMT, educators, the learners themselves, where do you need intervention? This is a question you must answer on your own. What is your strategy? Besides what DD and the other team members are going to help us with, what is your strategy for your institution? Because your institution is a brand on its own. Hello, class. So how you run your brand must be informed by the fabric of your brand. What is your strategy? These are the questions you must answer. Can you answer me now? Do you have a strategy? Eh? Can you impromptu answer me and say, this is my strategy to improve performance? Can you do that? Anyone lift up your hand? DD, I want you to see your principals and your DH. So it's your homework again, guys. Beyond what we are equipped with in these 3 days, you must know what your strategy is. Link it to the strategies that you are being taught today. Then results can change easily. Thank you. Bye. Done. So those who didn't clap hands for me, they are not getting lunch. You saw them again.
Yeah. I've been checking.
You've been